Hi everyone, it's Tammy with Frou-frou Studio. Welcome back to my channel for the next episode of hashtag 50 Stack Challenge 4, hosted by Amy at Crafty Cat, where each week she pulls 2 prompts, and you're to make a piece of ephemera with each of the prompts, with the ideal being at the end of the challenge, you have 50 pieces of ephemera to use in future journals. The challenge 4, she has put in her little bag themes for different kinds of journals. In the two, excuse me, the 2 prompts that she has pulled for this week were fall and bugs or insects. So I've got some stuff pulled together and we're going to make a couple of pieces of ephemera. And I'm actually, since I would never make a whole bug journal, I don't think, unless it was like all butterflies or something like that. I'm going to kind of make these to go together that could both be used in a fall journal, or a botanical type journal. So that way it gives me some kind of options that I can choose down the road rather than limiting them to, you know, a bug journal, which I'm sure I would never do. And I would do a fall journal, but it also opens it up for just a general botanical journal. So, I went through my scraps and I dug some stuff out of my scrap bin. I'm trying to use some of the stuff out of that because it is getting quite full. And so I'm trying to reuse some of the stuff that I've thrown down in there. And I have this piece that I had previously cut some circles out of to use as closures for like coin envelopes. Excuse me. My allergies are kicking up. It's that time of year. And I had just punched some circles and I threw this in my bin. So I think I'm going to use this and I'm going to make kind of like a belly band out of it. And put some mushrooms in it. This is for the fall one, by the way. I didn't say that. But this would be for the fall make. And then I'm going to make a journal card to go behind it. So, and then this is a piece of leftover laminating paper where I laminated something and then cut it out. And this is the drop piece. So I'm going to put that behind the circles to, you know, make them look like they're a slide or something like that. So I'm just going to kind of trim this to fit. I'm going to trim, and I'm not even going to worry about if it's totally straight as long as I don't go smaller than my circle, then I'm all right with it. Alright, and then I'm going to cut the length. And then, see, I still have 2 pretty good sized pieces. But that's one chunk going back in my bin. And then I'm going to take this as a piece of just cardstock. It's kind of a, it kind of has kind of a linen finish to it. And that's what I'm going to put on the back. to mount my mushrooms on. So I'm going to lay this on here and draw some circles so I know the area that I have to work in. And I'm just going to draw them real lightly with, not with the pokey tool. Just kind of gonna go around them because I want to put a little bit of book page in here, and then I want to put my mushrooms in here, and I'm going to cut that off. Get my cutter here. So now I know my workable area, and this little piece I will not keep. I probably should, but I've got to get some of the junk gone. Okay, now I have a piece of dictionary page, and I'm gonna tear just a little piece of that to put in the background. I don't want a whole lot. I just want something so that background's not totally just brown. Kind of like that. So I'm going to glue those on. Hope everybody's having a good day. It's raining again here today. Rained pretty much all day yesterday. Had to go pick up my husband from the airport yesterday, and his flight ended up being about an hour late because he sat on the runway in Houston for about an hour. It's just craziness. And it's like, you know, once you get on that plane, you're ready to go, and here you sat waiting for who knows what, I guess, to get a clear runway to take off from. Yeah. It's frustrating when you're ready to come home and you're on a direct flight thinking, no, this isn't going to be bad, and then you end up sitting on the runway for an hour. But he made it. He went to visit his brother, and he was really excited because he was going to be in Houston for the eclipse, and they actually had tickets to go to the Johnson Space Center on the day of the eclipse, which was purely a coincidence, because they didn't even realize when they got the tickets that it was that day. And so he was all excited because they're, of course, Texas, you know, had a pretty good view. Nope, couldn't see a thing. It was too cloudy. They couldn't even see the sun. So he was kind of disappointed over that. But enjoyed his trip, seeing his brother nonetheless. I'm just going to ink all these real quick so I have them all done at the same time and we won't have to ink different parts as we go through. My niece, one and only niece that I have, niece or nephew, turned 21 yesterday. So she's working hard, trying to get through her junior year of college. I'm very proud of her. She's making very good grades and has been recommended for several special programs. And she's going to go directly into her master's when she graduates next spring, so can't believe that she is 21 already. This is just a die cut that somebody gave me. I don't have this die cut. I wish I did, but I don't. Somebody gave me that in a Happy Meal, I think, or something. And then, like I said, this is really just a drop piece. I just happened to get those when I was cutting them pretty even. I guess that was part of my subconscious liking things that are symmetrical. Cutting them out like that. Ink those. And I don't need to ink the brown part because it's not going to show. Alright, I think that's everything inked for that one, so let's start putting it together. I think I'm going to use double-sided tape to tape the acetate or the transparency. Sorry for my reach in my head if it was in the way. Alright, so put double-sided tape down first. Sorry, I'm kind of clinking my scissors around there. Oops, I'm going to have to cut that one off a little bit. Oh, Look, I'm about to mess up. Were you screaming for me not to mess up? I guess I better put my mushrooms in my circles before I put that plastic on there, huh? These mushrooms are by 49 and Market. It's one of their die cut sets. You get a whole bunch of mushrooms and leaves. They have several different kinds of flowers and several colors and styles, and then they have one that's foliage, and they have this one that's mushrooms, and I love them all. Let me get this one on here and I will show you. I punch all mine out as soon as I get them because I can't stand when you punch a couple out and they start getting hung up. But this is the mushroom one. It has bugs in it and mushrooms and like some stems. But there are several different sets of different kinds of flowers. Like that's kind of a purpley blue set. That one's the foliage. Then they have one that's kind of blue and white and pink. Actually, I think that's the one that had the pink in it. I think I've just used all the pinks. I think this other one was just the blues and whites. And then I have this one that's kind of greens and reds and pinks. And I'm sure they have others too. These are just the ones I picked out. But I find it's easier to punch them out of the background and keep them in these little folders with the little hangy ring on them. Because like I said, once you start punching some of them out of that cardboard, the cardboard gets all hung up and drives me nuts. So that's why I do it that way. But that's just my little tip. It may not work for everyone. See if we can get these lined up now. There we go. Oh, look at me. Look at me. Were you screaming at me again? I didn't put the plastic in there. Which was the whole point of using the double-sided tape. Goodness gracious. Sure it's not Monday? I think it could be. Alright. We're gonna get this right, yeah. Alright, now I'm gonna take our glitter glue and I'm gonna go all the way around the edge. Try to stay out of my circles the best I can. Now we're going to put this on. Alright, got a little bit. Glue on there, but I think we can get it off. And then I have these little labels that just have numbers on them. And I'm going to put those just above each one. Okay. And I didn't get anything to put there, but I may decide that's too empty and want something there. All right, now for the journal card, I've got this piece of scrapbook paper, which I think goes really well with those mushrooms. And this is just a piece of cardboard, crafty, stocky kind of material that I'm going to use as the background. And I'm going to put some just tea-dyed paper on here. Oh, it's not. It's got bugs on it. I thought this was just plain tea-dyed. That's okay. That'll work too. Let's do... Where's my... There it is. Actually, I'll make that a little more narrow. I'm going to take the bug off and use just the print. And then I'm going to put this bigger mushroom with this little label. And then I'm going to put this clip on here. And it will go under here, under the belly band. Okay, so that's the plan. Oh, and I've got this little natural history tag that I'm going to put on there. And we will save the butterfly for a different make. Alright, so let's ink all this part. Alright, I inked most of this already, but I need to ink this. I may make this look like a tag. And then, I think I'm just going to leave this craft stock. I had thought about maybe putting something on the back of it, but I think you can write on that. Let's see why you couldn't. So, let's crop the edges of this so we can make it look like a tag, even though it won't be. Really. Oops. Bang things around today. Put a whole reinforcer on there just for looks. Alright, so that's going to go there. And then this will go on here. I'm going to tear this edge off so that it's torn as well. And I'm going to tear this corner off. Just because I don't want it to look perfect. And I'm inking with scorched timber today. I don't remember if I said that. But I think it's a nice dirty brown looking color for fall. Alright, so let's glue the tag on. And this is scrapbook paper, and I have no idea what brand it is, because I have like literally about 2 scraps that are this size left. I wish I had bought some more of it because I absolutely love it. But I can't remember whose brand it is. Okay, and I'm going to put this on. This is just tea-dyed paper that's been stamped with a script stamp. And then you saw me just ink it up. And this is Tracy Fox, this little label. And this little natural history tag here is Tim Holtz. I should have inked the back of that, even though it's not going to show when it's in the on the tag. It will when you flip it over, so we want to be sure and cover that as well, or ink it. So I'm going to ink the edge of this and use this as my tab. And then I'm going to put my mushroom on. Just like that. Be sure and get all the little grass pieces pushed down. Alright, so this will go in like a belly band, and then this will be the, if I can pick it up, the journal card that goes behind the belly band like that. So yeah, I think that's cute. Alright, on to the insects. Alright, for this one, it was kind of a coincidence that I found this, and I just kind of pulled out some other pieces to go through it. This was in my scrap bin. It is a book page, and it was just like this in my scrap bin. So I pulled it out, and I was like, oh, well, that will make a cute little flip up that you could open up and journal on the inside of. It has bugs. So I'm going to use this, and I'm going to cover the inside of it. And that's why I got this piece of paper out. But now that I see it's not plain, I'm going to have to find another one real quick. So let me see what I got down in here. If I have something long enough to cover that. How about this? Yes, that will work. Okay, this is just a piece of parchment, kind of resume paper stuff that I found at the thrift store, and I thought the color was kind of cool, so I grabbed it. So we're just going to rip a piece, and we'll take just a tiny piece off if I can get it to. It's a little bit thicker paper, but that worked pretty good. Alright, so lengthwise, Let's take a tiny bit off this side. Ugh, I knew I was going to get right at the very end and it was going to cause a pain. Go from the bottom. Okay. So let's glue this down. Both sides are the same, so it doesn't really make any difference. And for those of you that are new, I use Pritt Stick for my glue sticks, and I order them from Amazon. I've had the best luck with them. I've not had any issues with anything coming unglued using the Pritt Stick, and I like it because it's not too wet and it's not goopy like a Oohoo stick could be sometimes. It does get goopy every once in a while if it gets warm. In my craft room it will get goopy, but once, usually that's like between seasons, you know, when you're not using the air conditioner yet, but it's not cold. Does that make sense? I guess when you don't have anything on to control your humidity in the house. I live in a very humid area, and humidity affects a lot of things in my craft room. So that period where it's not quite hot enough for the air conditioner, but it's you know, beyond heat season, a lot of times I'll have issues with a few of my products in the craft room, and it does seem to affect that glue just a little bit. Not anything bad, but it does make it a little gloopy. Or if I forget and leave the top off of it, then it gets a little gloopy. But other than that, it's a pretty good glue. Alright, so this is our little fold out, which under normal circumstances, if I wasn't filming, I would wait for that to dry before I folded it, but it seems to have done okay. So I'm going to ink around the edges. Now, like I said, this is book page, and it's kind of shiny book page. So I can ink around these edges on the outside, but a lot of it's probably going to wipe right back off because I'm inking with an oxide. So if you want something that's going to stick on there more, you either need to wait for it to dry before moving on to the next step, or you need to use an ink and not a oxide. Because see, I can put that on there, and most of it I could wipe right back off onto my fingers. So, but, you know, if you can wait for it to dry a couple minutes, then the oxides are fine. Okay. Alright, so there's our flip up. Now for the closure on it, I have this little digital that is by Louisa Heinzel. And it's a little, you get a whole set of these like seals or postal stamps, seals that have bugs on them. And there's all kinds of different bugs. There's butterflies and moths and bees and just all kinds of bugs. And I printed this one on cardstock, and I'm going to glue just the bottom half of it so you have like a little closure that you can put your flap under on this and hold it shut, because it's not going to have anything that has very much weight or anything, so I think this is going to hold well. Did I just do that wrong? Yes. What a dodo. I was like, why is that not holding shut? It's because I glued it on the wrong side. Alright, so we're going to wipe that off real quick. I'm going to get my little glue eraser. And we're going to fix our boo-boo. Put some more glue on there. It's real time, folks. You're gonna get everything. Bloopers, the whole 9 yards. Alright, now we're good. Okay, and then I'm gonna make a little card just to go down in there. Because I thought that I might want to, once I make a journal, turn this into a pocket. So I'm going to give that option that I could, down the road, turn this into a pocket if I wanted to. And actually what you could do is you could make this bottom portion here or part of this here a pocket and leave the rest of it for journaling. Okay, so this was also in my scrap bin, and it is like where I cut a frame out, and this was the middle part. So for that, I've got some little text here that I'm going to put on. So I'm going to put that on here. And then I have this little tag, and I'm sorry, I do not remember whose digital this is, but it has a little bug on it. Put that right here. So Sorry if I'm out of frame. I probably was. And then I've got another mushroom I'm going to put on there. And that will kind of tie the two makes together. And then I have a bug out of that same mushroom kit from 49 and Market, and I'm going to put it on here somewhere. About right there. Okay, so there's our little card. And it's craft on the back as well, because this is the Tim Holtz craft paper, and so it's colored on one side and craft on the other side. So again, I could put some backing on it, but I think it's light enough to journal on without it. So then that can sit in here, and that could actually be a pocket, and then you could put something else in there. That could be a pocket, and then I have a couple more of these tags. So that may be what I do, is put a couple more of those tags in there. If I can remember which book they're in. I did some organization, and you know how it is when you organize. Can't find nothing. There's one. There's another one. Also have this. So maybe we'll use one bug. In that little mushroom card. Trim around this a little closer. You can round it a little bit. Glue this on. still going to have plenty of writing room for this one little section. Then we could stick our tags down in here. There we go. So there is our make for bugs. Put my pin in there. It's already too late, probably. Probably already clogged up. Excuse me. Alright, so our little flap goes in there. And I'm going to have to sturdy that up, or put the, what do you call it, bone folder on there. This is too soft. But I think once I do the bone folder, it will work just fine. So there is our bug make. Cute little fold up book page pocket. And then here is our fall make. Our little belly band with the journal card. So that is it for this week, guys. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you guys back on Tuesday for Color Combo 2024, unless I get a journal finished. Then I will have a journal flip through on Sunday. So until then, I hope everybody has a great weekend, and I'll see you on Tuesday. Bye.